Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Campfire Questions. We were hiking the John P. Sailor Trail today in Gallitzin State Forest, and I'm here with Bill Maksim from Maksim Outdoors and Ryan from Mountains into Memories. And I'm going to ask them, if you were with me and I asked Cliff and Walter Zola questions here back in the summer, I'm going to ask these guys the same questions so we can find out a little bit about them. So here we go. So we'll start with Ryan. And by the way, I answered these questions on the other video, so I'm not going to answer this time. So it'd just be Ryan and Bill. So if you want to know my answers, you'll have to go back to the other video with Cliff and Walt on it. But here we go. So Ryan, just first of all, people to get to know you a little, tell us a little bit about your family.
I'm Ryan. Got a wife and two kids. Rachel, and the kids is on all the videos on our channel. Sarah, she's 7 years old, second grade, just started. And William is 3, so he's not in school yet. But we've spent, the last 10 years living down in Bedford County, but just took a new job and moving up to Cambria County, and that's kind of where we're at the moment.
All right, very cool.
Pass the mic to Bill.
Bill?
I was going to say, I don't think it was on.
Oh, it wasn't on?
You might have to redo that part. My answer isn't as good as Ryan's, but I just got married to my lovely wife, Samantha, and we have 2 dogs, a Golden Retriever and German Shepherd, Bryce and Zion, but we'll see if there's anything more coming in the future. So that's my answer for that.
So, your first car?
Our first car was a Pontiac Sunfire.
Pontiac Sunfire.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was 4 cylinders of Fury.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. It was a nice car, I guess. But it's long gone.
Bill?
I feel like everybody got all these cool cars and stuff, but my first car was a Ford Focus, 4-door.
Ooh.
It was actually a pretty cool car. Modified and put like these cool headlights on it. But,
man.
Yeah, it was. I had that for a few years, but yeah, that was my first car. Ford Focus.
All right.
Ford Fury Focus.
I only had 2 doors.
Yeah, I got beat there.
All right, so this is a question you might like. Name 3 of your most memorable hikes.
Oh boy.
That's a tough one.
I don't know. Is the microphone even working? No. Mount Rogers. We did Mount Rogers a couple years ago, and so that's got to be like number 1. If you've never been to Mount Rogers, we started in Grayson Highlands and went up the mountain from there. But yeah, the wild horses and stuff. That one's pretty special.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list to get to.
Yeah, I know what another one is, but I think.
JP Sailor Trail.
John P. No, I don't think it's the John P. Sailor Trail.
Not yet. It will be
Not
by
yet,
the time
maybe.
we
Tomorrow.
finish this hike.
We're just getting to the good part.
Yeah.
No, I would have to say.
A few moments later.
We don't have all night here.
Yeah, I know.
We're on a time constraint.
You've done 1 million hikes. You only asked
Yeah,
for 3.
it's tough. I want to say Dolly Sods is definitely on there.
Yes,
I mean, like
that
there's
was on
no
my list.
questioning that as far as backpacking trips goes. Like that one, the scenery was awesome. The company was awesome, and like it was West Virginia's finest for sure.
The goodie.
But then I'd probably have to say one of the ones we did in North Carolina, down, so not in the Smokies, but like off. It was in Nantahala National Forest. There was like a couple waterfalls we went to see, and just some of the Appalachian Trail we did there. So pretty much that area. I'm not sure which specific hike, but be there for sure. Pass the mic.
All right.
All right. I think I'm going to try to split mine up between like states and Pennsylvania, right? I mean, it's hard to go wrong with the Falls Trail. The Falls Trail everybody loves.
Yep.
21 waterfalls in how many miles? Dolly Sods will forever hold a place in my heart. I feel like everybody that was on that trip compares everything to Dolly Sods. Like, oh, that meadow looks like Dolly Sods.
Yeah.
Although that's not Pennsylvania, but trying to think what other good ones in PA.
It doesn't have to be PA. Or
The Highland Trail out in Glacier National Park will always be up there. Sky Pond that I just did a couple months ago in Colorado. So that's 4. I'm happy with that. I mean, it's impossible, right?
Yep, all good ones. Okay, question number 4, and hopefully this won't happen tonight. But name one of the scariest things that ever happened to you on an adventure.
Craziest. I got bluff charged by a grizzly bear in Yellowstone like 12 years ago. I was in Lamar Valley, and it was probably 100 yards away from me, but it must have caught my scent or something. Bluff charged me and then backed off. But that would probably be the craziest story, other than the spooky story I have from Caledonia that I told you.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for another.
Save that for another day. Did you say it was a grizzly bear?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. No, thank you.
So I don't know that I really have had anything recently. But so like when I was a kid, we was out hiking around like where my dad's old cabin was, which is down in Bedford, and I almost stepped on a rattlesnake. I might have actually stepped on it. I'm not really sure, but like because it was dark, but like I went to step and it started rattling, and like it was like right under my foot, and then I jumped backwards and it took off into the weeds, and that was the end of it.
Wow, you were lucky with that one.
Yeah, because they don't play
when you
around.
step on them, you're asking for it.
Yeah, and it was dark, so like I didn't know it was there, and yeah.
So, question number 5, and this kind of goes with the sunglasses and the Blues Brothers look they got going on here.
What sunglasses?
We're wearing sunglasses?
Name music that you really like or influenced you throughout your life. Music interest.
So, generally speaking, like growing up and like up until more recent years, I liked classic rock, like Rolling Stones, AC/DC, stuff like that.
Nice.
I've seen the Stones 3 or 4 times in concert, 4 times I think. But nowadays I mostly listen to like some country, but like not like the yuppie country that's like on the radio now.
You a Swiftie?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a Taylor Swift guy, but no, I'm going to see Eric Church in a couple weeks, so like that's sort of where I'm at, like him and Chris Stapleton,
Nice.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool. You still listen to some of the old rock every once in a while?
I do, yeah, no, for whatever reason, like I've been like scrolling through like Facebook stuff lately, and like watching like some older videos of like the Stones live. Just been a big fan of Keith Richards, and I used to play the guitar, so like I learned how to tune it to like the open tuning, like what he does, and so like I could play all their stuff. So
very cool. Too bad you didn't bring your guitar. Next time, put that guitar on your back
I'll
strap
just pack
on your
the
back
guitar out
strap.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a ukulele.
Yeah. You
Play
tiptoe
some
through the
Stones
tools.
on the ukulele. That'd be fun. I don't know. What do you got?
I think I'm with a lot of other people. My playlist is pretty varied. I could go from like Beethoven to Tupac, but
Yeah.
I would say like my favorite music genre, I've always been drawn into country, but I'm not a big radio country, pop country guy. Like Charlie Crockett, Sturgill Simpson, stuff like that. I've never really been into the mainstream stuff per se, but also love my classic rock. Like Ryan said, Stones are good. I like the Beatles. Anything along that.
Oh, you're a Beatles fan?
Yeah, they're good. They're only like the most popular band of all time, but very varied, very varied.
Let it be, let it be,
Yeah.
let it be.
So, long story short,
Let it be.
like Outlaw Country would be my favorite.
Yeah, I like Outlaw Country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what song did you get stuck in my head again today?
And lawyers, guns, and money. Is that pretty good?
Of course, that might be my fault for bringing that up on our last trip we were on.
Good old Hank Jr. Or who was the
Yeah, it
other
was
guy?
Hank Jr. Warren Zevon did
Yeah,
the
Warren
original,
Zevon,
I
yeah.
think.
Screw Warren Zevon.
All I know.
Although he would be doing a Werewolves of London with our
Werewolves
moon
of London.
up there tonight.
Oh, lawyers, guns, and money belongs to Hank Jr.
Okay.
There you go. Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Die on that hill.
Okay, so what would your dream adventure be? Let's make it staying in the U.S., though. A dream adventure that you haven't done yet. And I'll answer this one again. For me, was the Redwood Forest. Some year I want to get out to the Redwood Forest, but that's just me.
I would love to. So I kind of have a tentatively planned is to hike the Grand Canyon. I can't talk. The Grand Canyon rim to rim. But
Ooh.
I would say if I had the money and the time to do it, I would love to climb Mount Rainier.
Okay.
That'd be my choice.
All right, so so there's not really a lot of stuff that's like really on my bucket list, but this one thing is definitely so. There's two of them, I guess, but so like the first one, I guess, that's more achievable is to go to Colorado and ride the Durango and Silverton train, and so that's high. That's like number one. But then also the other one I want to do is the one that Bill did up in Alaska, the White Pass Railroad. So I'm big into trains, and so that stuff's always really exciting. And those are probably like the number one and number two scenic railroads in the country. So
Very cool.
if somehow I could do both of those, I'd say life would be pretty well complete.
All righty. So those were the questions that I asked the Wandering Woodsman and Walter Zona when we did our last fireside chat. But I think for this adventure, we're going to add a few more questions.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
We're having a great time out here.
Too quick.
And it's keeping us from thinking about the aliens that supposedly haunt this area. But that's another story altogether.
Hey, that's what somebody told me. So
So,
shout out to One Eye.
so if you want to know more about the aliens in this area, go on Bill Maksim's channel and ask him about the aliens. But back to the questions here. Let's go with what song, if you're going to just sit down, have a good time, you sit down with your phone, what's one of the first songs you're going to pop into your playlist? And I'll answer this one for me lately, and why I have no idea, but I'll sit down and one of the first songs I'll play is The Zoo by the Scorpions. And I don't know why, it just gets me kind of pumped up.
That's a great song.
I don't know. If you've never heard that song, go listen to it. It's just got that catchin' beat and gets you in the mood. So a song like that, guys, that you put in often or frequently, or
Happy by the Rolling Stones, because you can't listen to it and not be happy when you're done.
there you go.
Anything Charlie Crockett. That's as simple as it gets. He's just great camping music. And,
So what would be your first song by Charlie Crockett that you'd bump in there?
Hard Times off the top of my head.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll listen to it after this.
And today was Hard Times on that last mile
That
or
last
so.
mile
Yeah.
was hard times.
So, Charlie
Very
Crockett.
cool.
Times in Fern City.
Very cool. So I have another hiking question here. What is, and we'll say within the last 3 months, a hike that really surprised you, a place or a hike that really surprised you in the last month? And like I said, I didn't answer these questions, so I'll answer this. Would be, I was just at New Germany State Park in Maryland, and that surprised me. They had hundreds, if not thousands, of old hemlocks that are healthy, and it's just a beautiful hike. And there's a stream, and if you've never experienced New Germany State Park, wow, that place just surprised me. And I just did that probably last month. So you guys have a place within the last, say, 3 months that really surprised you, stood out to you?
Yeah, so our summer vacation this year, which I haven't posted the videos of yet, but this was back in June. And stay tuned to the channel because it's going to be coming out here shortly. But we went to Hillsboro, West Virginia, and there's like a series of 3 waterfalls. And you got to climb down all these stairs and stuff to go see them. It's near where Bill and I did the Cranberry Wilderness hike. It's actually right down the road. But yeah, it's something special, and I mean, I'm gonna remember that one for a long time because those waterfalls are. They're really tall. I think they're the one is the tallest, I think, in West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. So
Wow.
It's worth checking out.
Very cool.
And the mic to Billy.
I had to think about this because I haven't really done too much filming in the last 3 months. I've been just recouping from the Western trip and everything, but I was lucky enough to go out.
Wait a minute. Would you say the wonderful
Wild
wedding-
Western wedding road trip.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Wild Western Wedding Road.
Yeah, it was a tongue twister.
But I was fortunate enough to go out to Idaho for work a couple of weeks ago, and I got to check out Craters of the Moon National Monument, which never thought I would get to check that out. But just a giant volcanic field with all these crazy lava rocks and stuff like that. You don't really hear too much about that park. I mean, have you heard about it?
No, where's it at?
It's in Idaho.
Idaho.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So
I've heard of Craters of the Moon.
yeah, so we went out there and we had a day to ourselves. So drove out there and got to hike 4 or 5 miles through the desert and through some of the old volcanic features, and that was cool. I never really expected volcanic rock to look so unique, but I guess they did a lot of astronaut training or something there back in the day, like to simulate walking on the moon, something along those lines. But yeah, in the last 3 months, that would probably be the more underrated hike that I've done.
So next question.
Yeah, you didn't ask.
What kind of bird are you? And I'll start this. I'm a hawk. And how do I know that? Because I went on a hike with Maksim Outdoors one time, and there was a chart there that you had to follow. They gave you questions, and at the end, it told you what kind of bird you were. And I was a hawk. But anyway, what kind of bird are you guys?
I mean, I don't have a real good answer to this, but
You're a warbler.
I'm going to go with cardinal, because cardinals are good looking, and I think I'm pretty good looking.
Wow, all right, I like it.
So that's an
Wow.
arrogant answer, but
Maybe a little mohawk.
yeah, well, I mean, right now, I probably don't look very good, because, like, my beard trimmer's lost in storage somewhere, and I need a haircut, but if I was cleaned up, you wait.
Rachel.
I look like a cardinal.
Rachel, was Ryan a cardinal?
Top that.
Yeah, that's tough. First of all, my favorite bird is a raven, but I wouldn't consider myself a raven.
You're like a Baltimore Oriole.
I mean, that's a compliment, I think. But I would say like a blue heron, right? Because you usually see them,
Great
they're
blue heron.
they're by themselves. They're kind of just sneaking around.
Do you like fish?
Yeah, I do like fish, but
Oh,
they're
that's
always
good.
chilling out on the lake shore, having a good old time. You know, just watching the sunrise, sunset, just chilling out in the weeds.
There
That'd be
you go.
me. That'd be me if I was a bird, I think.
There you go.
But I'm on Team Raven. I like ravens and crows.
So another question would be, and I hate to bring this up out here in the middle of the dark,
In the middle of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere, but any scary, like almost paranormal experience. And I guess I can start with me on this one, since this is a question I haven't answered yet. I was on a trail one time, And as I started up the trail, there was this little building there. Leading to the building was mud. And in that mud was wee little baby, like wee little baby footprints. Maybe, a year or two old, just old enough to walk. And there was footprints in the mud. And they were by themselves. They were the only footprints there. And I was scared to look in that building. I looked in the building, there was nothing in there. But to me, that was a scary experience to see that. To this day, I don't know how there would have been a little kid footprints by themselves. Anyway, that's mine. You guys got?
Well, if them kids was like my kids, they'd be walking in the mud, and I'd be walking on dry ground because I told them not to walk in the mud, but they did it anyway.
Yeah, but
bare feet.
Oh yeah, they don't care. They'd throw their shoes and off they go.
Yeah, but this was kind of like the only place you could walk was like there was almost no way that you wouldn't make footprints beside it or something.
Yeah, that is odd. So scary stuff. So we was in Scouts and we was biking the C&O Canal Trail, and somehow we biked to Antietam, the battlefield, from the C&O Canal Trail. Like
it's right beside it, yeah.
Yeah, you had to go on like pavement or whatever, but then so we somehow got permission to sleep out on the battlefield in tents.
Wow.
And we was out playing like cops and robbers and stuff, and so this was out in the dark, like middle of the night type stuff, and like stuff was just happening, and like you knew it like wasn't other people like in our group, that like just like there was other people running around, but like it like there shouldn't have been anybody else out there. We was like, the ones.
Yeah.
But like there was definitely some stuff going on that wasn't associated with the group of us that was out there. So it was pretty weird.
Ooh.
And I think Antietam, obviously that was like the bloodiest battle of the
Civil
War.
It was one of the worst.
Bloodiest day, I guess.
Yes.
It wasn't. Gettysburg was more days, more people died, but Antietam was like a 1 day affair.
Oh yeah, it was
as
nasty.
many people as Gettysburg.
Yeah.
So that's what I got for paranormal.
Wow.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend sleeping in a tent out on the battlefield.
No, I don't think that's on my list of want to do.
Alright, so disclaimer for mine. I do not believe in ghosts and I do not believe in anything paranormal, but I had a pretty odd experience. I shared this story with Dave the last time we were camping together in the middle of nowhere. So Caledonia State Park, I went there 2 or 3 years ago, stayed in the campground in late October, and the campground was empty. I had the site, or the campground, pretty much all to myself, and my site was overlooking the Appalachian Trail down below me, like I could see through hikers and whatnot. So anyway, set up camp, and I have like 5 different stories that happened to me on this trip, and none of them are really related, so don't try to piece them together because that's not the point of it. Just a series of weird events that happened to me. So first, I was sitting in my campsite and I saw my first ever and only Fisher cat walk across the road. And I was like, okay, that's cool. The next day, fell asleep, woke up in the morning to do the charcoal hearth trail, and hiking down the road, and in the parking area there was like a homeless encampment, which, hey, whatever. I was a little sketched out because I thought somebody was going to follow me up the trail. I get up the trail, do like 2 or 3 miles, and just some random guy, which I think if you ask any hiker, one of the scariest things that you can encounter in the middle of nowhere is like somebody that isn't a hiker, right? So ran into this guy in like a dress shirt with aviator glasses on. He was like a Mexican guy, and I was like, all right, a little weird, right?
Well, even
so,
if they are a hiker, it's weird. Remember David?
Yeah. So ran into a random guy in a dress shirt in the middle of the woods with glasses on. Like, I don't know what that was about. He didn't acknowledge me. I didn't acknowledge him. I kept walking, and that was it. So I get down to, I forget what the trail is that walks along the creek. Do you know what that one is called?
Yeah, I do, but it slipped my mind
like
right
the Ramble
now.
Trail? Or,
yeah, I think it is the Ramble Trail. Yep.
Ramble Trail. So I'm hiking along the Ramble Trail after, going through a homeless shelter camp, after seeing the guy off the trail. And then I'm hiking along the creek. Nobody else is out there. Like I said, it's October. And I run into a pile of kids' clothing. And I'm like, I didn't have cell phone service at that point. Ended up going to the ranger station and telling them about it, but it kind of creeped me out. It was like a whole set of kids' clothing just off the side of the creek. So weird, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that any of these three things had to do. Obviously, the fisher didn't have to deal with it, but so the day went on. Go to bed, and then fall asleep. Around 3 a.m. I wake up and I hear what I can only describe as like two female women fighting at a bar. Very incoherent, like I couldn't make out any words. It was like, and I was like pretty. It takes a lot to freak me out, right? So I didn't leave or anything. I just went back to sleep after that, and then I talked to my brother the next day, and he was like, "Oh, I bet you that was a bobcat." So I looked up bobcat noises, and it was pretty similar. But then Dave and I camped together down in Maryland. What was that, in April?
Mm-hmm.
And I told Dave the story. So this is like 2 years after that. And as soon as I told Dave that story, his face kind of like went blank. And he was like, "Where were you camping?" I was like, at the backside of Caledonia. He was like, "You know what happened up on the AT outside of the Caledonia, right?" I was like, "No, what happened?" He was like, "Well, 2 girls got murdered up there." I was like, "Really?" So makes you wonder. So I'm gonna chalk it up as bobcats, but who knows? I'm not saying that they were like that happened that night, but you know, a lot of people believe in spirits that make noises years later. So
Yeah.
that's my paranormal story, even though I don't really believe in paranormal stories.
So we're getting down to our last few questions here. Let me see. Name an upcoming adventure that you're planning, that you're excited to be getting ready to go to.
That's a good one. You got the microphone.
Okay, well, so I'm super stoked about this. So we just bought a 4-door Jeep, like a Jeep, JL, I guess is what the Jeep people call it. And so we're going to Blackwater Falls in the fall. But we're going to take the Jeep and we're going to do the Canaan Loop, which is like a high clearance off-road, and it takes you out to this amazing overlook vista, but it's like hardcore off-road. My truck could do it, and I planned on taking my truck to do it before we even bought the Jeep, but the Jeep is so much more, that thing can go anywhere. We've already been on all kinds of stuff with it. It's awesome. So I'm super stoked to do that. And yeah, that'll be coming up. We're doing it in October, so probably about 6 months after that you'll see the video on my channel, but it's going to be awesome.
All right. Can't wait.
I'm excited for you.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
You should come.
I'll be there.
You
Send
take your
lawyers,
Silverado.
guns, and money.
Send lawyers, guns, and money.
As long as we can wear sunglasses on it. I'm going to Hickory Run. That has been at the top of my state park list for quite some time now. We got a cottage booked there for the end of October, so checking that out. And then I'm heading up to the Seven Tubs here shortly as well. So those are 2 places that I'm looking forward to checking out. So,
Cool.
good question.
Best question.
Great host. We have a great host here.
So since I didn't answer this question before, someone invited me to a Minister Creek backpacking adventure, and I have had Minister Creek on my radar for quite a few years. I think since back I've seen Adventure Archives many years ago. That was one of their first hikes that I remember seeing, and always wanted to do it since that. So stay tuned for that one.
Was it a cardinal or a hawk?
So we're going to end this video here tonight. I'll do one real quick closeout, and this question is going to be just a slight bit different for each person. So I'll start with me. My question is, if someone gave you $1 million but you couldn't do hiking, camping, backpacking, any outdoor adventures anymore, would you take the $1 million, or would you turn it down so you could still do these types of adventures? And that's an easy answer for me. No. All the money in the world, I would not trade for that. But we're going to ask Ryan. Ryan, if they gave you $50 million, $50 million, but you could never do any of this type of stuff anymore, no outdoor, no state parks, no backpacking, no camping, would you do it?
What do you do? What do you do with that money if you can't do this stuff? Because like,
You could give me the $50 million. You say no, and you give me the money.
Well, you could go to sporting events or concerts
no, I ain't going to no sports
or swanky restaurants.
No, I don't think I could take the money, honestly, because like realistically, money buys me nice stuff so that these adventures either A, can happen at all, or
right.
can happen better and easier and stuff, I don't really need any more money. I need more time. That's what I need. Now, like, if I could buy time with the money to do, but, yeah, no.
Okay, a big no. So, one last. Bill.
Do I get $100 million?
No, we are going to $1 billion. $1 billion. You could be up there with the
I mean, you could do a lot
billionaire.
of money. You could do a lot of good with $1 billion. So I won't say no to it, because think of the money that you could spread around to other people, even just donating to charities and stuff like that. So, but
you could never. But you could never do anything like this.
That's tough. I mean, this is the love of my life. Like, I love going out and doing stuff like this each and every week. It's a tough question, and I don't know if I could give you a straight answer. But $1 billion is a lot of money.
Well, even to your point, like
that
I
is
want
generational. Like, you could set up your family for the next 5 generations with $1 billion, right? So, and not to be greedy, but if I can't experience that, I could pass that down to the rest of my family for the rest of my life, and they could experience nature, right? So maybe that's the way I'm saying
I'm
things,
selfish. I need adventure.
Yeah, I'd have to. I'd have to have the adventure.
Yeah. Well, you only had $1 million. I'm up to $1 billion. So.
I wouldn't trade it for all of you out there $1 billion.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
but yeah.
I think we're all in agreement. This is our happy place, and we're all happy that
money doesn't buy happiness.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned that in the last 6 months. I mean, you can have money, it don't get you happy.
Yep, you heard it here. Money can't buy this kind of
camaraderie
and
in the middle of the John P. Sailor Trail.
and adventure. So anyway, that's where we're going to end it. So thank you all for coming along. God bless all of you. We're praying for all of you. See you in the next one. Bye.